The Snyder Cut doesn't exist. It would cost $70 million to finish the movie. Get over it. Warner Brothers is never going to do that shit. It's fake news. What's happening, film friends? Dave the Film Junkie here. All right, let's talk about this timeline. Yeah, it's making the rounds again. The timeline of what was happening behind the scenes with Justice League. Basically post-production. You know, stuff we saw on social media mainly. And just stuff that we heard and everything. And I'm going to put this up right here because this was actually posted 2 months ago. And I remember it making the rounds, but it really didn't gather up steam. But for some reason now, it's gathering up some steam. And actually, there's an awesome article posted by Mr. Steven over there at Screen Rant. Good guy, good writer. He posted a nice little 4-page, I think it was 4 or 5 page article kind of breaking down everything. So I'm going to post it first link down below. Suggest go checking it out because very detailed, very well written. Go check it out. It's good stuff. But let's talk about this little image right here of bullet points that was posted by Mr. Bob Diggy. Good job, my friend. It was 2 months ago, but yeah, like I said, it's just making the rounds again. So here we go. October 10th, 2016. Filming, principal photography. I think that's what he means by PF, even though it's, yeah. Complete, which we already, yeah, we got a sense of that. So, and then 14th of December, we got the Aquaman picture. That was one of the first when we saw post-production, which was like, it had us all going, oh, there it is! January 17th, Gal Gadot re-recording lines in studio soundstage. A little ADR. I'm going to go into detail with that in a little bit. February 17th, Larry Fong shares picture of in-process, in-color correction. DI, digital intermediate, colorist, stuff like that. Added Company 3. Guess what? Company 3 stands for. Fong confirms DI is performed on these films after picture lock. That's a key word. That's a key little phrase right there. Picture lock. March 25th, 2017, first trailer with a level of VFX already applied. Obviously, when we got that first trailer, it was oh so beautiful. And then a lot of the shots that were in there got removed. March 20th, 2017, unfortunate passing in the family. That's when it was admitted about all that, and it was terrible. It's pretty tragic to hear all that. And then March 30th, Whedon working on previous unannounced Batgirl film, and he says, right, maybe they were kind of using that as a cover, who knows, but, he was brought in to punch up the dialogue and put some connective tissue. And then all of a sudden, he was directing the reshoots, and it was like, whoa. And then there was a 2-month gap, which assuming that's when, stuff was being, they were trying to schedule things. They were punching up the script, doing what they needed to do. May 15th, 2017, Wonder Woman press, all that. Zack was there. I mean, well, when, at the premiere, he definitely was there. May 22nd, 2017, leaves Wonder Woman promotion and film. That's when all that, the Zack and blah, blah, blah. And June 15th, 2017, GJ's likes Shiraz's tweet about film being Zack's. That was just something. This is all social media stuff right here. July 1st, reshoots begin. Pictures of Nazi symbols and Iris West car means reshoots were wasted too. That's weird. Did they reshoot all that? I mean, the Nazi stuff, that was when, Victor was talking about certain things, and then that one's weird to me. July 22nd, 2017, next trailer, additional VFX. This is when backgrounds started getting changed. The Comic-Con trailer, we started seeing a little different backgrounds, and it was kind of catching us all off guard a little bit. June 30th, 2017, GJ. I mean, you already know who that is right now. I am Jeff Johns. Words that some interpreted as an attack against Zack. He says studio, not Zack Snyder, studio is now clearly the same people that imposed 2-hour mandates and reshoots. Interesting. August 11th, 2017, Justice League is mentioned conveniently as unwatchable. That was when all that really was getting, but they said that was back actually at an earlier date. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. August 22nd, 2017, Zack Snyder shares a last shot of Jason in Iceland. That was when he started dropping little things on Vero, which was awesome. And I think we should all keep an eye on Vero because I think that's not going to be it. It's going to be interesting, all the other stuff that he posts, and I can't wait. September 1st, 2017, Zack Snyder reveals he's working on Stone, Steam, Iron. That awesome short film that he posted on Vero, which was absolutely amazing because he did it with nothing but an iPhone and just his freaking magic eye. It's crazy. October 8th, Heroes trailer, multiple scenes with improved VFX but eliminated from Final Cut. Yes, like the Superman goddamn scene, which is just weird. And then, of course, yes, more backgrounds were changed, and a lot more orange and everything like that. So there you go, guys. So basically what I wanted to talk about was some notes I have here with everything like that. Let's talk about February 17, 2017. Basically, Snyder was working with Stefan Sonnefeld, who works at Company 3, and then, of course, he's the digital intermediate colorist. And, you know, basically when that is happening, usually when that is happening, it's not all the time, but usually when that is happening, that's when you have a locked picture lock. And that usually means you got your runtime set and all your photography is set. There's no additional shoots, no nothing. But like I said, who knows what could happen. And that doesn't actually mean that the VFX are done and audio is done. That just means usually runtime, you have your film, you have the picture, you have it there, and I bet it was glorious. Larry Fong did comment on this, and that's what, you know, a lot of people read that and went, hey, Larry Fong didn't work on this. He wasn't a cinematographer, it was Wagner, but he was just commenting, saying that usually when this is the case, that means you have picture lock, and so he was basically just giving us all boners. And it usually takes about 10 days to do like a 2-hour film to do all that. So, I mean, depending on, you know, it's digital and then you got film, you know, who knows what's the case. Like I said, we don't know exactly what was going on. This is all speculation. It's not ironclad. This is just speculation on what we've seen. And what's really interesting is 10 days later, we got the Snyder video of Aquaman. February 27th, we got this, and that's not really the interesting part about the 10 days later. What's interesting is the text that you see below it. If you read closely, there's some words in there that look mighty fine. DPX, digital picture exchange file, for final per request. Final. Final's a good word. Final's a great word. Okay, because this leads us to believe that the Aquaman shots were pretty much done. And probably various other shots were done too. I mean, it looks pretty polished, what we saw, everything, when he goes up to, which got totally raped, where Aquaman just shows up to like a dead Atlantean soldier, but obviously that wasn't the case when we saw the footage. Rewind a month earlier to January 27th, we have Gal Gadot doing that ADR work. Now, usually when you have ADR work done, you get all the Foley sound in a movie. I mean, maybe they do something different. It might be totally not, you know, like I said, this is all speculation, but usually you have the Foley sounds, you know, dog barking, wind blowing, blah, 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 all that stuff. Usually you already have all that locked in, you know, with picture lock. So if she was doing ADR, who knows if the rest of the cast already did their ADR or they didn't post anything on social media, sadly. But the interesting part is, if you actually look right here, if you look at the counter on the frame right there, it says 2 hours and 9 minutes. That means she was doing ADR for a piece of the movie in a spot that was longer than the goddamn theatrical cut. What's really up in the air is the Junkie XL stuff, because obviously when a composer comes in to do a film, he has to see footage. He has to write it with footage. And the fact of the matter is, if he was already written stuff, if we actually get like leaked Junkie XL stuff, we'll know that he was doing it to actual footage, and maybe that confirms more that the film is even more long than it actually was. The thing is, we're not getting anything. I mean, there was stuff that got supposedly leaked, but he totally denied it and everything. And then he got fired. Danny Elfman comes in, and he had to work off of storyboards. I mean, that's how ridiculous this is. He had to work off of storyboards, which means, of course, they were dismantling Snyder's flick. And it's just a big old mess. And what's interesting about the whole, like, you know, when Batman on Film said, oh yeah, we heard it was unwatchable. I mean, it was basically back in December that cut, the Snyder cut, the early cut, assembly cut, or whatever the hell, was shown. So what's interesting about that little notion is, okay, so back in December, Warner Brothers basically deemed the movie Justice League, Snyder's Justice League, unwatchable, yet after all that, Snyder still went forward. He was still doing ADR. He was still doing visual effects 2 months after that. That's the part that makes us all scratch our head, rub our chin. But who knows, guys? Who knows? I mean, it could have been a whole different process, and, you know, What do I know? I don't know much of anything, but hey, for all we know, Snyder, he does have his own studio. Maybe he's just, he is the producer, and PGA rules stipulate that a producer still can own the footage. Of course, he can't just release it and try to sell it or anything like that because it is still Warner Brothers property. But what if he's just sitting somewhere right now with an editor and just putting it together? Wouldn't that be awesome? I mean, he could be, or he could be working on his next film. Who knows? But maybe his cut is sitting around somewhere, or it's getting polished by him right now, and God knows what the runtime actually is, because you got a movie with this kind of magnitude, this many characters, and this is Zack Snyder we're talking about. A lot of people are saying like, oh yeah, maybe the 2 hour and 50-minute runtime was actually what it is, or maybe it's just a full 3 hours or around 3 hours, like the Batman vs Superman Ultimate Cut. I don't know. Maybe it's 3.5 hours. Maybe it's 3.5 hours. That sounds like a nice round number for this kind of movie, for this kind of Zack Snyder movie. You flesh out the characters, you give equal balance to the characters and everything like that. I kind of like that number. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I'm just saying. Anyways, guys, that's all I got to say about all this. Sorry for rambling too long, but hey, it's just interesting stuff. Let me know your thoughts about it down below. What do you think about all this? Hit that like, thumbs up button if you'd be so kind. Subscribe to this channel. Visit filmjunkie.com for all my content. And, of course, visit the closet and get some shirts and T-shirts. I got the Come Together Justice League shirt. I even got the Snyder version where I actually drew him above them. So go check it out, guys. I'll talk to you later.